Alright, a wonderful good morning everybody and welcome back here to my channel. We're jumping into the first round directly, and I think we're gonna keep mana base, of course, a little bit wishy-washy here in regards to black mana, but I think we can make do with the counter spells and then we'll see from there. Also, we already have double red for Season Pyromancer, which is pretty neat. But a turn 1 Ragavan would be problematic, but that's not the case. We're playing against Elves. Alright. So I haven't played against Elves in quite some time. We shall see if that works out. So definitely don't want to have that. Alright. So at the very least we have the third mana here. And if he's coming up with like a cavern or whatever, then I can ditch my counter spells, yeah. Thought as much. Alright, so probably after counter this, I could also let this resolve, hope that he doesn't have another 1-drop, and then counter whatever is coming after that. Or alternatively, I could also start to block the Llanowar Elves here. But he has to, like, no, that's fine. I think the safest bet here is to actually counter this, because then he will have to tap the other one. So that is fine. Okay, now we have 4 mana. So just let him do whatever he wants here. He could also go with a company, and then this will spiral out of control really fast. I think one more turn we're gonna wait, because... yeah, I think one more turn we're gonna wait, because the first spell he's gonna play has to be the Cavern spell, so then he cannot utilize this for as much value. And if he doesn't do anything, I can still go with a Snapcaster and try to consider for a removal spell. Yeah, cannot counter that. He's also playing the Devoted Druid infinite combo here. So that's interesting. So this probably means that there is a collect company. So I'm not gonna go with a Snapcaster Mage here. Just fetch for Sandus Launch. Yeah, and I think if we had played into the company plus Devoted Druid here, that could have gone horribly wrong. Alright, Diren's Elite. Yeah, I think there's not a whole lot that I can do about it here. So that's gonna resolve. So let's consider. Okay. And then we're gonna go after the Heritage Druid, I think. He can make it to a 2-3, but he cannot protect it. There's definitely a company in there. He just has to decide on whether or not he wants to utilize the mana from Heritage Druid. I mean, he still does have this thing here. Okay. Could also be a Core of Falling. Another company, but yeah, alright. No, it's a chord. Alright, we're still gonna go, and we have to be careful here, but I have to fetch for a water grave because we don't have a basic island anymore. And then we're gonna go with this. Alright. Good. And now, well, Cruxa is okay too, I think. It's probably worth it. Wait, so maybe... How likely are we to draw land off of that Seasoned Pyromancer? I think I'd rather, like, I would like to go with the Cruxa here, because next turn I can also get the Cruxa back. It is a little bit awkward though. I do want to get rid of whatever he still does have in hand, because Elves typically doesn't play well off the top of the library. And I think then I'm going to utilize the Snapcaster to block if necessary. Yeah, alright. So got a Renegade Rallier as well, which is important, because if I tapped out here for Seasoned Pyromancer, then the Renegade Rallier... He still does have a lot of mana here. And whenever he finds the second combo piece, then he has infinite mana. So, yeah. So this one's going to be pumped, potentially. I can go after the Darren's Elide here. I think that's fine. Just want to preserve a little bit of life. And every bit helps. Oh no, we found a company off the top. Oh my fucking goodness. Oh, what a lucker. What a freaking lucker. Yeah, so this now is a problem, but he cannot pump this anymore. So he should have probably waited until I blocked. So now we're still getting a decent trade. It's not great, but it's at least decent. So now we have the same question again as last time here. And this time around, I think, since these two are so good together, I think we're going to go ahead here, pass the turn, and then tap draw. So we draw an additional card. And then hopefully we find another land so that we can deploy both of these. Because if we get rid of the Elvish Archdruid and then have a blocker and Seasoned Pyromancer, that would be pretty decent. Plus we can refuel plus the Cruxa. Oh, come on. No way. What the fuck? You found another chord off the top? Oh my goodness. This cannot be real. What the fuck, honestly. Shall I? Okay. So I guess we found something. I can get rid of the Shalai, but we're gonna take a lot of damage as well. Alright, so we're gonna kill that one before anything else happens. And then we're gonna go with a Seasoned Pyromancer, which sadly isn't gonna provide any additional blockers. So it's just gonna be the Seasoned Pyromancer, which will have to keep us alive for a bit. Alright, we do have a Colligons command, which can return the Snapcaster, which can then get a Lightning Bolt. Alright, so we're taking another 5 here. I think we're going to go after that one. And then it's going to be really, really close. Like, really depends on what our opponent found here off the top. Alright, so it's a Heritage Druid. So let's see how we can fix this situation here. So I kill the Arc Druid, right? So then this becomes a 1/1 and a 2/2 and a 1/1. Yeah, so I think we should stay alive here for this turn. I can kill this. I could also go after the Heritage Druid, I guess. So I could of course also return like the Seasoned Pyromancer, but that would only provide one blocker. So we're returning the Snapcaster. Oh man. Our opponent had some insane draws off the top there. Okay, so now I'm not sure if I want to go after the this dude or the Heritage Druid, but probably rather the Heritage Druid, because that's 2 damage of the Pendelhaven, and then we can block this. And then next turn we have to return the Crux up probably, so our opponent needs to whiff at some point, hopefully. Alright, so let's Lightning Bolt the Heritage Druid, also to restrict the mana a little bit at least. Right? So then we're taking at least 2 here. Alright. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Okay, down to 1. And our opponent did have another creature as well. Alright, so probably have to go... Okay, so we found a Snapcaster, which is pretty good. So I could theoretically go with Snap Cryptic. I could snap here, or I could just go with a Seasoned Pyromancer. That's also a possibility, I guess. But I think Snap Cryptic is the better play. Because this way, he has to pump here to keep this alive, then he's restricted on mana, and then I can return and, oops, was that correct? Return and draw a card, yes. Alright, Otawara. It's not the worst. Alright, cool. So now, let's see. I actually have K command and Otawara up, even if I play the Croxa, which is pretty neat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we'll have to wait, because like if I get something off the top here, I could also return my Seasoned Pyromancer for some redraws, of course, also the Snapcaster Mage. Our opponent might not be playing the 3-drop that deals damage. Alright. So this might be decent for us, right? Okay, we do have a counterspell. That's decent. That's very decent. Okay, so I think we're gonna attack, because I can return the Seasoned Pyromancer, I can return Snapcaster, so we have blockers, and we do have a counterspell for any potential instant that you might have. And also we need to, you know, win this before it gets out of hand. Alright, so did have an instant, which is interesting. And won't tap the Pendelhaven, which makes sense. Definitely well played. I could bounce something here. TBH. Because then he has to discard it. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. Or am I not? I mean, I still have the Creeping Torpid as a blocker. And I can also kill this and return the Snapcaster. That would also be a possibility. Lightning Bolt's gone though. So that would be consider, right? So we're gonna return here and kill that. And then I still have Snap Consider up to block. And our opponent is at 7 life now, so he also has to be very, very careful about what he's gonna do. Because we also do have the Creeping Torpid, so he's attacking now, and conceded. Okay. Whew, and that was that was pretty intense. So yeah, so we definitely want to have the Necroplasm. I think we don't want to have this, and we probably don't want to have this either. Flusterstorm is something that, like, early on our opponent is playing both Court of Calling and Company, and I think the Flusterstorm might be helpful in that regard. So we're gonna add those. And then sometimes they're also bringing in like Planeswalkers. So maybe I want to have the Flame Blitz. I could also go with the Alpine Moon after the Cavern of Souls, so I don't have to fight over that. Advantage of the Flame Blitz is, of course, that I can just ditch it if I need to. They're probably gonna bring in Ooze, so unlicensed Hers could still be decent. Probably no, I should play around that. Alright, let's bring in the Moon to make our counter spells a little better. I guess I could also do it with a Fulminator Mage, but also good to know that our opponent is playing Shalai. Alright, so this one is not keepable. We're gonna mulligan. We're gonna try this, although I don't really like it. We're gonna ditch the counter spell, and then it's okay. Oh. So we have to start off with a Blood Crypt. The other counter spell that we just drew has to be somewhere down the road. Yeah, there's the Ooze that I was talking about. Certainly a good sideboard card against us. Alright, so with the other Watery Grave, and our opponent apparently doesn't have a Cavern, so yeah. We do have to be a little bit careful in regards to probably let this resolve, because I can also kill it on the board. Alright, so there's the Elite. That's just a 2/2 now. So we're gonna go and kill this and make him discard. Then, of course, we don't have the counterspell up, but we wouldn't have that up anyway due to Snapcaster Mage. So this might be Shalai. Yeah, it's Shalai, okay. Does have 4 in the bin though. So we're just gonna go with a snow-covered mountain here. And then we're gonna go Drown Lochit. And then we do have a good situation here for us. Yeah, good games. Hey, welcome to round number 2. We are on the play and a little bit of a slow hand, but maybe on the play we can keep it. Gonna start off with the Blood Crypt tapped. And then we won't have a turn 2 play. Which means if we're running into a Ragavan, then we're fucked, most likely. And this looks like a deck that could be running a Ragavan. But goes with a Thoughtseize instead, which is good. So the Cascade Bluffs helps us with a triple blue. Did discard the Archmage Charm here, which is fine. I have to be a little bit careful. Our opponent's not playing Gigantha. Yeah, so this is the Rakdos build. Maybe he's coming up with a Ragavan here. Oh, Dreadhorde Arcanist. Okay. So I have no clue if our opponent is actually playing a... Oh my goodness. So he's gonna take the Cryptic Command. Sadly. It will probably take a little bit until we can get rid of that Dreadhorde Arcanist. Waste not? What? Lol. So he's gonna draw a card off of that as well. That's actually pretty... I mean, it's weird, but it's also pretty decent in this situation. Cannot really do anything about it. Waste not. Very interesting. I mean, we have tons and tons of removal spells. We just need to find one of them. And he currently doesn't even have... Lol, okay. Oh, come on, dude. Another waste not? What? What? Okay. So yeah. Can't really do anything about it. He's gonna draw 2 additional cards. And at this point, we're so far behind in terms of just straight up value that I'm gonna go for head. Straight to face if we were to draw a Snapcaster Mage or a Lightning Bolt. Alright. Well, I guess that's a counterspell at the very least, so that means that he has to cast something first in order for us to, for him to utilize the Dreadhorde Arcanist. And that only works if he has something in the bin. So, and we have something in hand. Both won't be the case. Okay. Gaia Reach, whatever. Well, I guess... Yeah. Okay. So opponent's gonna draw 2 additional cards. I guess I could have also discarded the Seasoned Pyromancer and then played it end of turn. But the... Lol. Lol. And we didn't discard... This program is so fucking broken. So we discarded everything but our Seasoned Pyromancer. Which is fucking hilarious. And we discarded a Fatal Push as well as a Bloodchief's Thirst, both of which would have been pretty decent against that Dreadhorde Arcanist. Okay. So, we're gonna lose the Seasoned Pyromancer after all. But we can bring it back. Why he's also generating zombies. That's gonna be a rough one. Yeah, he's playing Ragavan as well. So this is the... Oh my fucking god. Yeah, getting out of this is gonna be rough. Alright, so let's go with the Season Pyromancer here. At least a few blockers. So our opponent will be able to play the Crux on next turn. Sadly, we don't have a tar pit on the battlefield yet. Otherwise, this would be a different conversation. And we also didn't get a Crux of our own into the graveyard. Okay, Lightning Bolt isn't too bad. At least. But still, like, our opponent has to somehow lose 2 more life. We have to find a Snapcaster Mage. Plus something else. So we'll have to block the Dreadhorde Arcanist. And then we basically have to draw a Cryptic Command into a Lightning Bolt into a Snapcaster Mage. Something like that. There are outs, but they're not many. Okay, so if he kills... Yeah, alright. So with the Dreadhorde Arcanist, then we lose here. Because that's 6, 12, 15, 16 with the Lightning Bolt. Okay, so since I want to be... So typically I wouldn't take out the Cryptic Commands in this matchup, but I want to be proactive here with my cards. And therefore, I'm going to take out most of those. Crux is pretty good. Don't even know if I want to have the counterspell. There is an argument for just leaving it behind. We're on the play. I could also go with like Fulminator Mages. Yeah, I think I'm going to take out the counterspells as well. It's a little too awkward, like overall. And then Necroplasm for Waste Not. Wait, actually, I have to be able to counter Waste Nots, right? Because I'm still discarding. So we have removal for Dreadhorde Arcanist. Yeah, I think I need to still be playing a couple. Alright. Yeah, let's keep. We have double red for Season Pyromancer. I do have a removal spell, and we do have a K command as well as a Drown Loch. Obviously, if our opponent does have a turn 1 Ragavan, then that becomes a little bit more problematic. Yeah, he's gonna go with the Thoughtseize again or with an Inquisition to protect his Dreadhorde Arcanist. Alrighty. So might be a turn 2 Waste Not here. to set things up. I think Waste Not actually is pretty decent against us. Might also be a Cruxa, of course. Alright. So I think I'm gonna be discarding the Fatal Push because I still have the Snapcaster Mage. And then I likely want to go with a Seasoned Pyromancer right now. Discard Kolaghan's Command as well as Flusterstorm. Then we have something on the battlefield and I can actively search for either counter magic for the Cruxa or Graveyard Hate. Also, this play evades a potential Waste Not down the road, for which I would have to discard into it. And of course I also do want to find a 4th land, so I can go Snap Drown. That's not super strong. I guess I'm just gonna attack here. I'll leave 1 elemental behind just in case I want to block. But probably I just want to go with something else anyway. Does have a lightning bolt. Okay. So let's see. So I can return the Seasoned Pyromancer, of course, with my K commands. And he has to make me discard first. But he also knows about my Snapcaster Mage, so... Okay, so that's a discard, but I can respond to it. So if he attacks here into my elemental and then goes with the Gaia Reach whatever to facilitate his Turak, I don't think that's a very good play. So let's say he has a K command, right, to pump it. Would that be good enough? No, probably not. But I think I want to go with a Snapcaster here. Yeah, I think that's good enough. Our opponent probably does have a K command or something like that. Now we do have a decent clock on the battlefield. And we do have counter magic up as well. Plus the Consider is actually not too bad. Alright, let's go Consider. Would actually be decent if we were to find a Cruxa of our own. No, let's ditch this to the graveyard, that's fine. Our opponent didn't have a play there whatsoever. That's weird. Also, our mana base currently is pretty boil-proof, so... Dreadhorde Arcanist. Do I want to do something against it? No. Be my guest. So it does have a Scalding Charm as well, which means next turn our opponent will have the ability to go with Cruxa. But, like, playing Gaia Reach in your Cruxa list is a little bit weird, right? We can at least fix with Sunken Ruins, but he cannot do the same with whatever he wants to do. Alright, he's playing Blood Moon as well. Which I kind of was expecting, to TBH. So we're definitely going to get hit by the Croxa next turn, right? How do we best prevent anything else from happening here? So if I'm gonna go kill this thing, then I'm gonna go, yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna kill here. Then I'm gonna go return and make him discard. Then we'll put him down to 4. And then I can decide on whether or not I want to go like another blood moon. Slot. Alright, we have to be really careful in game 3 about the blood moons. But if he taps out here, then I'm just going to discard the Seasoned Pyromancer and kill the Croxa with the Drawn Lock. Because he has 8 cards in his graveyard, so Drawn will still be potent enough. But I think he would have fucked himself. Like, he doesn't have a single normal black source, like a basic black source. Well, anyway. Alright, so we got him there, and now we have to be really careful. Really, really, really careful in regards to blood moons. Do I want to go with Fulminator Mage? The Brazen Borrow is still good. I think I'm going to get rid of the Flusterstorms. And then I probably want to go with at least one Fulminator, maybe more. Let's go with another one. We're on the draw. Yeah, and then we have to fetch for an island. Well, yeah, I think we're gonna keep. Mana is pretty decent. I can fetch for an island here if I need to. Then we have 3 outs in our deck to get rid of a Blood Moon. Plus we do have a removal spell and we're on the draw. I think that's fine. But of course, oh, it does have a ley line. Oh my goodness. I mean, we can also get rid of that one. That's like, yeah. But also no. So we have to be, okay. Alright, so Snow-Covered Swamp here. I mean, it's not perfect, because we're flooding out badly, but at least we have everything in terms of mana now that we can adjust to a Blood Moon. And our opponent's making some weird plays with his lands, which, you know, it's fine. And of course the ley line is also... I really want to find... Cannot ditch this. No, I need this. Alright, there's a Fulminator Mage, which is interesting. So I could go with a Tar Pit here, but I think I want to play around like a Dash Ragavan or whatever. And also this is signaling that I'm playing a counterspell here. Alright, so this one we're gonna hit, and then so our opponent could have, in theory, I think I need to deploy at least one red source here. And I really want to keep my opponent from being able to play a Torak kicked. Therefore, I think I'm just going to go after his mana base here. He didn't have really great plays there. And maybe he has just like big stuff coming up. So... And then next turn, we might be able to have a double spell turn. The problem with this is, like, if I go... Yeah, I think I need to prevent a potential Torak here. Everything else is not as bad as the Torak. Yeah, good. Okay. Okay. So, again, we have to be a little bit careful. But we can go after the ley line, which would make the Seasoned Pyromancer a lot better next turn. So I probably don't want to go with the Seasoned Pyromancer right now, which means I can go with a Dottie. Deploy this. Go with a Dottie. And then I'm just gonna go after the ley line. Alright. I think I'm gonna do it right now. Because then the Dottie is at least in our graveyard, and that means that even if my opponent does replay it, I will have the Dottie as a target for my K command in the bin. And also, of course, if he goes with the Torak right now, then that's probably a Torak, right? Or does he replay the ley line? It's a Liliana. Interesting. Interesting. So I have to get rid of the Tar Pit here, I think. I need the Blood Crypt. And despite the fact that that's pretty sad in general. Alright, so let's go this real quick. Try to find a Croxa that we can ditch. Fill up our graveyard. So this one. Fulminate a Mage. I could go after the Castle Locthwain, I guess. I think I'm just gonna keep this to ditch it, so that we have another another elemental in play. I did have another lightning bolt, alright. Alright, do have an unlicensed Hearse and a K command, both of which are pretty decent. Our opponent's probably gonna play first before he's gonna ditch to the Liliana. Okay, he's not. So I think, I mean, worst case scenario here is that my opponent does have a Croxa. Fuck my life. Wow, that's so fucking lucky. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck my life. That is so lucky, dude. Fuck you. Fucking lucka. Fuck you. Better lucky than good. Alright. We did find a Snapcaster, but that's not yet good enough. We'll have to do some heavy lifting here to get out of this. So we're gonna pass the turn. I can block with an elemental if I need to, so I just take 3. Let's see what opponent does. The Seasoned Pyromancer can draw us into a little bit. But he's gonna play out something first. does have a Turak. Okay. Really, really decent draws here off the top for our opponent. Because at that point, like, if we had these two cards in our hands, then I think we already had him. But anyway. So we're going to go with the Snapcaster. And the Snapcaster is going to target the K command. Then this is going to resolve, and then we're going to see what he does. He probably has to attack. Yeah. Okay, does it. Which means we're going to block here to preserve our life total a little bit. Then we're going to go after... So we're going to return this, I think, and go after that one. Counterspell. Nothing that we can play right now. And we need to do something. So we definitely need to find some sort of removal spell here. Okay, we did find one. So hopefully we can keep this fucking Crux off the battlefield for a turn or two. For him, ticking down is really bad. Ticking up is okay because it fills his own graveyard. Another Torak. Motherfucker. Alright. So, yeah, as I said, like, our opponent has drawn really, really well here. These past couple of turns. We're gonna attack both on Lily. Actually, maybe I shouldn't even do that. Maybe I should just attack him. Because I don't really care about that Liliana at this point. It's just about the Cruxa. If he attacks, I'm not gonna block. Like, we have 8 per turn. I think we can kill him in like 2 turns. Blood Moon. Oh, Castle Lock Twain. Alright. So opponent definitely doesn't want to discard whatever he just drew. Which I guess makes sense. And he doesn't want to discard that either. Alright. So I don't think we're going to go after the Liliana here. I don't like, unless we have a really weird draw where we need to keep up whatever we have. But we don't, so that's fine. And then we're just attacking him with fucking everything, because fuck you. So now he has to get rid of the Dottie first in order to enable the Cruxa again. We have lethal on board. Alright, did have a lightning bolt. Let's see what else you got. Another Liliana, interesting. Could also like sack, of course, the season power. Lot he's attacking. That is weird, dude. That is weird, right? Alright, I think we're gonna attack with everything. He's on 1. And then the Drownloch can kill the Torak. And if he's gonna play like the Croxa, he needs to find, off the top, a Fatal Push or... Alright, so that's not an option anymore. So yeah. If he doesn't have a removal spell here, he's dead. Yeah, GG's. Welcome to round number 3. We are on the play. Hands mediocre at best, but I think we're gonna keep. We have a little bit of removal, and we can see where this is gonna go. I think even this hand would be better on the draw than on the play, because it's very reactive and... Oops. Oh, almost shocked there. Alright, caverns. Humans. Answering over Nath of Isle. Well. We definitely need another land. Preferably a Cascade Bluffs or Sunken Ruin. Oh, these decks are still playing Kitesail Freebooter. Okay. Come on, land. Come on. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Oh, damn it. Alright, maybe I should have restarted Moto in between. But maybe it was also just a very greedy pick. Keep. So if we had drawn red swords there, then I think we would be in a very decent spot. But this way, we cannot kill this. Probably Thalia's Lieutenant as well. Yeah. So this is gonna hurt like a motherfucker. Alright, so here we have a red source. So let's... I think I need to keep the Archmage Charm. Of course, I could ditch both Cruxes. I think that's also the only right thing to do here. Both are... oh my goodness. I mean, at least a failed push at least. K-Command also not too bad. But we really have to fight ourselves back into this game. I need to have... And yeah, for this reason, maybe the Cruxa, one Cruxa in hand would actually not be the worst. Then I could utilize it. Another Imperial Recruiter. Yeah, we've definitely been a little bit too slow here. Had we drawn this one turn earlier, then I think we're getting out of this, but this way it's really difficult. We have a couple of blockers. Another Thalia's Lieutenant, alright. Okay. So. Fetch land, black. Please. Okay. That's not a fetch land. Don't think we can keep this. Alright. Yeah, we wouldn't have drawn a fetch land for forever, so we just wouldn't have gotten rid of that. So, yeah, so counter spells are pretty bad here. Armage charms are still alright. I definitely want to have Necroplasm. Probably just gonna go with the Alpine Moon, as that's our best hedge. And then I think I'm just gonna. Oh yeah, no, Unlicensed Hearse actually makes a lot of sense. I think we're gonna. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with this. Unlicensed Hearse makes a lot of sense because these decks are now playing Specialist Extractor or Extraction Specialist or something like that. Huh. So this hand very much hinges on us drawing double black very, very soon. And also on my opponent having a Cavern of Souls or not. But the Archmage Charm can steal an early Hierarch or Ether Vial. So I'm willing to take it here. Also the Necroplasm is pretty decent down the road. We shall see. Alright, so already does have the Caverns, which I guess is fine. Okay, so this turn we're gonna go with a Lightning Bolt. Next turn we can utilize the Archmage's Charm. And then we can slowly build up to the Necroplasm. Alright. Yeah, I probably have to do it here. So I'd rather let this resolve, kill it with the Lightning Bolt. But he's gonna go after the Lightning Bolt here. So I'll have to do it right now. And then potentially the Archmage Charm just serves as a draw to. Yeah. Even after we played the Lightning Bolt, he's gonna go with the Lightning Bolt, so I think that was the right decision. Also, probably the worst card for us in this situation, where with everything else we would have had a really, really decent choice and alternatives. Yeah, alright, so our opponent did have the Cavern of Souls Overload here. Triple Cavern will fuck my life. Alright, so that's an Ether Vial, which I'm not like totally opposed of. And that's a Kitesail Freebooter. So I think, am I gonna steal the Ether Vial here? No, I think I'm just gonna draw two. And then we're gonna alright, a couple of Snapcaster Mages. So I assume that he's gonna go with a Drown, yep. Then we're taking two. So it's gonna be 3 turns from now. So this turn, then next turn, and then the turn after that until the necroplasm does something, right? So TBH, I think I'm gonna go with a Snapcaster Mage here and the Consider to find a removal spell beforehand. So I don't want to just expose my Necroplasm to whatever and just be done with it. Oh, fuck. Also, our Snapcaster Mage could next turn steal the Ether Vial. Another snap. Or does he go after the Necroplasm? Alright. Does go after Necroplasm, which I'm fine with. And we're just taking that one. That's also okay. Alright. Oh my fucking god. So we're gonna fetch for 1 here. And then I'm gonna steal the Ether Vial as soon as possible. And then we just need to find any fucking land, like anything. Not land, removal spell, of course. Any removal spell would be great. Okay, but we're gonna double block. Alright, so he's still not attacking with it. Yeah. Alright, so that means that this turn we can deploy Snapcaster off of the Vial. That's also not bad. Could also go after that one, I guess. That one's fine as well. So I think the best course of action here is Snapcaster going after the Kaiser Freebooter, then drowning the Meddling Mage, and then next turn we can go with the Necroplasm. And if things go really well for us, then we can even block the Thalius Lieutenant. Alright, so let's go Lightning Bolt this thing. Then we have the Drownaloch back, but that also means that I don't necessarily have to go after the Meddling Mage right now, so I'm just gonna go... It's gonna be a 3. So we're gonna go return and deal 2 damage here. So that it's just the Meddling Mage here, and we do have double Drownaloch up next turn. Yeah, we're gonna block here. Does have another play though. Alright. No, for this turn I still don't want to do that. And the Xanus Launch, not sure. So I could go with a Snapcaster Mage I think I want to play this still. I can still cycle 4 bits. Can go snap that, yeah. Nah, I'm just gonna keep it. We have 5 mana in play right now, and the Ether Vial as well, which is fine. Alright, so I have to respond here. I'm gonna go with a Snapcaster. I'm gonna kill Lothalia's Lieutenant, return and to damage this one. Wait. This one from that, and then this. And then we're gonna return and to damage. Thank you. And this is actually pretty decent for my Necroplasm because it's another Thalia's Lieutenant, okay. Destroy target creature. We can kill like these pretty fast, I think. 3/4. Yeah, let's block. I think I'm gonna go tick this up to 3. We have a couple more targets than just a Snapcaster Mage. Alright. So we're gonna play the Necroplasm right now. Obviously it's gonna be dead for a little bit, but that is fine. We can still aggressively use our Snapcaster Mages. And now the Necroplasm is basically sweeping things off. Oh lord. Oh lord. That's so weird. Can't be countered. Okay. So I'm really hoping that it's gonna hit my 2 counter spells because I don't need those anyway. Come on, magic. All right. Yeah, those 2 were pretty dead anyway, so. There's another Ether Vial that I don't really care about right now. So I think I can just go kill this thing right now. Then I have a couple of blockers. The Noble Hierarchs are going to die this turn. And our opponent just conceded. Alright, cool. That would be the hearse. Oh man, that's pretty rough here. Everything's pretty rough in this matchup. We are not equipped to deal with creature decks very well because they're just not in the meta right now. I think I'm going to go with the Fulminators. I could also go with the Dotties though. I guess that also does have an advantage, especially on the draw, but I cannot block with those. Fulminator Mage. But then I don't need the Alpine Moon. Like, that doesn't make any sense. They are so dead here. Like, all these cards are so dead. So Dotties, probably just 2 because I cannot afford to have multiples in hand. No, we're just gonna go with 2 Cryptics. Because at least we get a little bit of value out of those. Haven't really seen a Thalia yet, which is a little bit weird, but maybe these decks also cut it. I don't know. Okay. Alrighty. We're gonna keep, and I think we're definitely gonna go and ditch this, which makes our mana decent enough. Plus we have K command for an ether vial, and we can even. So does it matter? Yeah, this probably needs to be a black source, which means I'm gonna shock here. This is probably gonna be a meddling mage. Alright. That's gonna name a lightning bolt, right? Yeah. Alrighty. There we go again. So, gonna fetch for a black source. Just play this out. It's not great. Definitely not great. But it's also not super bad, so that's fine. Then the K command can kill the meddling mage unless there's a Thalia's lieutenant. And then I could crack the Dottie, get the meddling mage in play for myself, and then just block something. Alright. There's an ether vial, which I don't care about at all. Alright, that's also pretty decent. So let's go with this, and then we're gonna destroy and deal 2 damage. And then I think we're gonna crack. I mean, I could also go with a ether vial, I guess. But I think we're gonna crack for meddling mage. But what would be the best target for that? I guess Adelaide is pretty good in their deck. But Thalia's Lieutenant is probably the best, right? I could also go with a freebooter. So I don't really care about Mantis Rider, at least not right now. I haven't seen a pile of heroes yet, so I'm not gonna play around Extraction Specialist. So that leaves me with other meddling mages, I guess, that I could block. That could be actually pretty annoying. Yeah, let's go with meddling mage. Because I definitely need to utilize my lightning bolt here. I think that's like one of the most annoying things that I could be facing here. Alright, so that's annoying as well, but my meddling mage can actually block that pretty well. And I can get rid of that one. I'm gonna take it. So obviously, this is somewhat way worse now. I think I'm gonna pass here. Then just kill the champion. Imperial Recruiter. Yeah, Sanctifier, definitely also a card that I could have named, I guess. Well, we do have Snapcaster Mages, we do have quite a few outs, and of course the Meddling Mage in play also makes it a lot better. But now, let's go double red here, kill this one, and also kill that one. Whoops. At least gives us a little bit of room here. I'm definitely gonna block. I'm gonna snap block this shit so hard. Alright, so there's the Brazen Bora, which, you know, is pretty good here as well. But we're definitely gonna go with this into this. Maybe as another one of those though. I guess in case we draw, yeah, we're just gonna go with this. A Lightning Bolt and a K Command, both of which are fine. Yeah, that must mean that our opponent does have another. Oh, interesting. Is that your only play? That would actually be pretty good for us. Alright, so I'm gonna play the Xanos Launch here. I'm gonna go after that shit so that we can attack. Excuse me. Can attack. Right, there's Adelaide, which is pretty strong, although she's not super strong right now. But so I think, do I want to return the Season Pyromancer? With the Brazen Borer, I can just go ditch it, bounce it again. Actually, I could deal 2 damage to them. I think I'm gonna deal 2 damage here. I think we're on the... Well, if we're here, then we can also go with the race plan. Especially because of the Brazen Borer just being good by itself. And then we also do have these things to block later. So we're bouncing this. We're getting in for a bit. And then we have the Brazen Borer as well. And hopefully we're gonna draw a Snapcaster Mage sometime. Alright. Definitely gonna go with this right now. And then if he wants to play the Adelaide here, so he did have a Meddling Mage in hand, right? Now he has to name Snapcaster, I think. Yeah. Alright. So, but now, yeah, fail push is great. That's really, really good. Because now I can just fetch this for a basic. Kill that thing. Attack with everything. And then Adelaide isn't good enough anymore to actually do something here. He needs something that's flying to block my Brazen Borer. Alright, GG's. Alright, welcome to round number 4 here, and I think we're gonna keep. So we need a double red down the road, but as for now, that's fine. What? Forest Soul Guide Lantern, I have no clue what we're playing against. Also, there's no real use in waiting, because Soul Guide Lantern is either gonna Stompy. Okay, so there's the other Scalding Torrent, so from here on out we should be good with mana. We also already have the whole Storm Giants in play, so we do have a little bit of extra equity in the late game, but we have to figure out what our opponent is actually playing. Basic Forest into Soul Guide Lantern is really weird. Into nothing. Are you kidding me? No fucking way. No fucking way. What? I have no clue what we're playing against. Alright, so we're just gonna be doing our thing here, whilst our opponent is doing whatever. Okay. I'm gonna counter this. That's so weird. So he must have drawn the planes off the top, right? I don't know, man. I don't know. Feels like something's off here. But now, this thing actually costs mana to draw a card. So I think I'm gonna go ahead here. Destroy and deal 2 damage. Doesn't even go for it. And then I think we're gonna go after the Give of Runes as well. Okay, where's the Saga? Knight of the Reliquary. So I want to maintain my Brazen Bora for the Saga. I think I'm going to let this resolve and kill it. And up until that point, we're just making a little bit of land drops here. So it might be Value Town with Urza Saga, I guess. And either he like just didn't see that he was on the play there, like, or he just had 4 lands in a row. Both of which are definitely possible. Just don't know how likely it is. Alright, there's a lightning bolt so that I can get rid of both the constructs as well. And then we can refuel with the Seasoned Pyromancer. See what our opponent's got here. Expedition map. And another Saga, oh my god. Yeah, that's pretty annoying. TBH. So you can just go Saga after Saga after Saga here. Alright, Snapcaster Mage isn't too bad. Also, if he doesn't... A little bit under pressure. Okay, so he wants to go with Saga into Expedition map here. I have still no clue what our opponent is actually playing. but I want to like dial up the pressure a little bit in order to force him to play something into my counter magic. Let's see, the expedition map probably is going to get another saga. I could also get a Cavern of Souls or something like that. A Ganjo, Seat of the Empire. Alright. Probably should have done that earlier. TBH. So the Ganjo costs 3 to cast. Or unless he does have something else in play. So I'm gonna let this resolve, although he could have another... What? Zuran's Orb? What? Okay. So he must have some recursive stuff for... So I think I'm gonna go Snapcaster K Command. That can in theory just kill everything. Although that's not for sure. I'll have to see what else he has for 3 mana. There was a couple of weird plays. Okay, wants to do something. It's another Knight of the Reliquary. And there's currently three things in the graveyard. I guess my play should be so I don't waste this here. This is a 5/5. Return and destroy. That leaves him with the orb. But if I draw a... all that. So I'm a little bit concerned about what our opponent could have, but out of the 3 cards he still has the Uganjo in hand. So let's see. Of course, Zuran's Orb can also give him, provide him with a little bit of life. And this... oh my goodness. Oh my fucking god. Alright, so now... while this is... oh. Okay. Does this thing have reach? I guess it becomes a 6/4, which makes it a little harder for me, so I probably have to get rid of it first. And I probably won't be able to stop it otherwise. So I have to kill it, and then what? And he can make multiples, like thousands of these with the Zuran's Orb. So I probably have to go... shit. And he's gaining life for that as well. Shit. So that's the combo here, and we ran right into it because we just didn't know. And it's not... Oh my goodness. If I had another lightning bolt, I could really put him under pressure here, but this way I cannot. Like, I can make the thing go away, but we will die on the swing back. Well, at least I know what I'm playing against now. Of course, it was unfortunate for us that he did have it in hand. Otherwise, we win there 100% of the time. And, well, I expected there to be shenanigans with Zuran's Orb. Just not in this capacity. I thought they were just gonna go sack some lands and return them to play or something. Alright, now they are on 15. I could return my Snapcast from H, I guess. Hope to draw another land. There we go. Motherfucker. So, let's see. If I let them return this, so he's got 19 basically, right? I can return this to his hand. He will never be able to play it again. But then I'll also fucking die 100% of the time. So, and he just drew that off the top, which is also hilarious. But I expected something like Life from Loam. I think I have to get rid of Zuran's Orb somehow. Can I even win this? So I think we're gonna counter and tap. We need to prevent him from doing these shenanigans. These are basically 30 damage. And now he just played it. Okay. Basically, okay. So if I attack here and then kill this thing, I can block 4, take 10. See what he does. Probably just sacks 1. Because he can't sack more. Yeah. But now I don't have enough blockers, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I can only block 4. And the Brazen Boar, of course, can't block at all. Alright. So, now we know what's up. I think I'm gonna ditch the Croxa. Not super relevant here. Season Pyromancer is also not great. And then I want to have the Alpine Moon. I want to have all of these. Probably want to have Fulminator Mage. We'll start without Fulminator Mage first. And I might be getting rid of a couple of Budshies first. Although they do have actually quite a few targets there. I think Brazen Bar is still good. I want to have all my counter magic. K command is definitely necessary, yeah. We're gonna go with this. Okay, mana's good. And we can ditch the Xana's Launch down the road if we want to. That's gonna be difficult. Our opponent has an insane top end. Give of Ruins, yeah. I guess I can just get rid of it here. Because otherwise I will only be able to bounce it. It doesn't matter. Now the Give of Runes, okay. Elvish Reclaimer. Alright, so I do need double black, and I also do need double red. Or no, I think I took out the Season Pyromancers, right? Yeah, so I just need double black. Alright. So let's go this and that. Our opponent could have something here, I guess, but doesn't. That's good. And there's the Saga, which is also very annoying. So this attack means, I think, that he does have a Ganjo in hand, because otherwise that would have been a really weird attack. I don't know if I want to cycle this right now. I could. No, I don't think so. I think that's something for next turn. I don't necessarily need to do it right now. I can go end of turn, Augmented Charm, that's fine. You know, nothing else happens. Could of course also just take the Giver of Runes, I guess. But then if we're running into so I think I want to go triple play here. I want to kill the Giver of Runes, but I probably want to do it in his turn. Then I want to ditch the Brazen Bora to fight the Construct, and then I want to counter whatever he has, probably a Veil of Summer. And then next turn we can follow up with Unlicensed Hearse and the Brazen Bora itself. Yep. Okay, let's get rid of this one first. Then we're gonna get rid of this one. Okay, I did find... Oh my fucking god, dude. It's just finding these off the fucking top. What the fuck? That's fucking... Alright. So... Do I want to go... I think I still have that, so that's fine. Yeah, we're just gonna go with us right now, and then he's gonna utilize the expedition map anyway. We can take like 1 or 2 hits of this. This is gonna be a tough game. Like, our opponent's drawing so many of these Urza Sagas, it's insane. Maybe I need to bring in the Necroplasm as well next turn. If we make it that far. Windswept Heath, okay. Alright, it does have an ending here. Let's see if you also do have a removal spell for it. So I'm gonna wait until end of turn. Okay, so if he just activates here, then I'm fine with it. Yeah. Okay, then we're gonna go after that, and then we're just gonna start chomping on his lands here. Alright. Yeah. Opponent doesn't create another construct. Interesting. And there's the orb, so maybe it's gonna go with a big guy again. Yeah. Alright, so let's counter draw here, because I already have a solution for this thing. And then we're just gonna collect and go after that one as well. Alrighty. So now I'm gonna play this tapped, bring this in, and because of Life from the Loam, I'm not gonna go and activate the Unlicensed Hearse until at least next turn. When next turn we might have lethal. Never mind. But now this thing put into a graveyard, and they are not being put into graveyards, so that shouldn't work. And I can prevent that from happening as well. So here, and I don't know, that one. So nothing. And then he does have the Zuran's Orb, but everything else should not be working. And I can kill this shit as well. And then we can attack actually with everything, and he's dead, right? So this 6, 12. Oh, not exactly. Yeah, doesn't work. Sad. Alright, conceded from the game. Conceded from the game. Alright. So, I do want to have Necroplasm. After some consideration, I do want to have Necroplasm in there as well. So, what are we going to ditch for that? So this grade, this grade, this grade, this grade, this grade, this is okay. I guess. I also cannot go, like, I probably need the K commands. Yeah, I think I'm gonna ditch the Archmage Charms. Alright, so Alpine Moon is pretty decent. Of course, my opponent might have. Also, we're very far off of that Dori. So maybe we're gonna wait for that actually. Do I want to play the Alpine Moon here? I'm just gonna expose it, right? Yeah. I think I'm not gonna play the Alpine Moon right now. Or should I? With Polluted Delta... No, I'm gonna go with it. I am kind of exposing it right now, but I think I do want to have the counterspell up, and if he plays... Please tell me you don't have a second land. Alright. Sad face. Alright, so but we do have a couple of counter spells here. These Giver of Runes are annoying, but they won't really deal a whole lot of damage for the time being. Now we can protect our Alpine Moon, or the Sagas are pretty dead. Hopefully that buys us enough time until we get, for instance... either a Snapcaster Mage, or what also would be great is Necroplasm, so that we can get rid of all of these fuckers. And he's not even attacking with them anymore, which is also pretty decent for us. So I hope that we're gonna draw another blue source here, so that we have double counterspell up. That would be pretty good. Our opponent does have something. Alright, Brazen Bora. It's not perfect, but it is okay, I think. Does have something. Endurance, interesting. So the problem here is, I think I'm going to let this resolve. I think he does have the 5-drop, and if I counter something here, then that will just be pretty fucked. If he doesn't do anything, then I'm just gonna go with the Brazen Bora end of turn. That will probably force him to keep the endurance back. I could also just tap everything, I guess. But we're not there yet. Alright, another black source. So let's go with this right now, before we might be running into a potential endurance. Okay. Then we're gonna attack, and then we have 6 damage on the board. Might of course have another endurance, might not have anything, and now I think we really pressure our opponent to doing something. Alright, does have a Boseiju, and I cannot respond to it. So, definitely does have some amount of things here that he wants to do. I think basic island is actually enough. Alright, so it does have the Urza Saga. But also... So he's gonna get the Zuran's orb, I think. This is so weird. I think this has to be... Has to be something, right? But I think I have to go with a counterspell here. If he does have a Veil of Summer, which he doesn't have, which is good. Oh my goodness, fuck off. Sorry, I have to turn that tone down. Okay. So now... Let's see. We check with both. And then in his upkeep, we're gonna bounce and bounce the thing, return, and tap all creatures. So that way... we will make sure that he doesn't have the Zuran's orb in play at the time that's important. Huh. So now this is interesting. Okay, kick command is enough. Good. He could have, of course, another endurance here. And then we're gonna go do this. Does have a Veil of Summer? Yeah. Alright. Alright, GG's. Alright, welcome to round number 5 here. And we're keeping. I'm playing the Scalding Torn. So, wow, that round number 4 was pretty intense. Gotta say, that's a really cool deck. And I think it does have a couple of advantages. Of course, it's very tangent on that one creature to resolve. But on the other hand, so what am I going to do here? I could play the Grixis, but it feels like our opponent could be going with something like Archon. And if I'm running into an Archon here, like I'm not gonna get rid of it anymore. Let's shock here so that we have Lightning Bolt and Fail Push available. And just wait on the Grixis. Hallowed Fountain off of a Marsh Flats. Okay. Okay, no clue what our opponent's playing. Could just be blue-white control, I guess. Could be Esper something. I think it's weird otherwise that he's playing Marsh Flats, but... Alright, so it's at least 4 color. Could be even more. Let's jump in here with a Brazen Boras, see what happens. I really have to figure out what our opponent's actually up to. Like, our opponent's not playing a companion. He's not playing 80 cards. But he is playing at least 4 colors. That's weird. But not black. So that's... okay, let's attack first. try to find either a land or a drowned loch, and then we'll go from there. He's bouncing our Brazen Borrower, okay. Yeah, let's take this. And then just pass back. Like if our opponent's playing a Planeswalker on turn 4, I want to have our Brazen Borrower up. A Lightning Bolt will go after his Brazen Borrower. That's so weird. What the fuck is going on here? Right, let's play that again. Okay. Then attack. Kill his Brazen Borrower if he wants to do something against it. He could also be playing like this war thing. Like this Planeswalker. Then it's just a blue-white deck that's like splashing for a couple of colors. But 3, like, he fetched so weirdly. Let's wait on the Croxa. I want to be able to do stuff. He's playing Memory Deluge. Alright. So if I let this resolve, then he could Teferi me, but only small Teferi, not big Teferi. We have a solution for this, and he's probably gonna go with a Solitude down the road. Let's have that resolve. So now I think it's just blue-white control for the most part, at least. But blue-white control is also playing Brazen Borrower and, I don't know, a lot of shock lands. Alright, yeah, it's blue-white control. Let's try to draw 2 here. See what he does. Okay, wants to counter. Puts us a little bit on in a pickle here. But doesn't play the Brazen Borrower, which is interesting. No, I do want to have that. And then I basically have lethal. I'm not sure if I should go... He's definitely going to play the Brazen Borrower, right? I think I want to keep everything up. And now I think I'm just gonna go snap, bolt, snap. The next turn I can go, like depending on what my opponent is playing, of course. I can go with Croxa, kill this thing, then he has a Solitude potentially. Or very likely. But I think I have to get this around because, oops. If I draw a bolt off the top then I am in a pretty decent spot. Also, he has to find a solution for my Brazen Borrower. Don't really care about this Brazen Borrower. Now he has to play around the Lightning Bolt, so he basically needs to try to keep... Oh, with the Mystic Rainforest he also has to play around the Snapcaster Mage hitting him, so he has to at least get rid of one of these creatures. Of course, expecting that the other one will protect him still. The Brazen Borrow. Interesting. That was interesting. I mean, that's the best trade that anyone could hope for. Like, marching my Snapcaster Mage plus. But that also means he doesn't have a solution for the rest, right? So what's your play now? Can you get rid of the Brazen Borrow? Potentially. Yeah, probably needs green, so he probably has Prismatic Ending in hand. Our opponent's deep in the tank here. He's trying to play around stuff. So I strongly assume... Oh my goodness, okay. But that means he's tapped out. That means that... Okay, so Archmage's Charm... Whew. So how likely... We have 7 hits, but for 4 of them we need another land. It's very possible that my opponent also doesn't have... I think that the safest play here, though, is just Blushy thirsting the Teferi. Then we got rid of like 2 Teferis. And then we can build up from there. Also, Brazen Borrow is still coming, and our opponent apparently doesn't have a solution for it. So let's go after that one here. Yeah. Okay, opt. So every bold, every K command is still lethal. There's the K command. Okay. So, we're gonna go with this. And then we're going all in. Like if he does have... Okay, does have something. Spell Pierce, LOL! Ah, we wouldn't have played around that anyway. That's fine. That's LOL. Alright, yeah, that's going to the bottom. Alright, we're playing against a very, very weird list here. Actually, we're dead. Cannot stop that from happening. Spell Pierce main in blue-white control. Oh man. I mean, it did work out for him, so that's fine. So I want to have flame blitz. I want to have all of these, I think. So Croxa isn't great. I think I'd rather have Unlicensed Hearse. And then Season's Pyromancer is also not super great. Actually, maybe I want to go with Dottie instead. Oh, I think that's fine. Subtlety main, Brazen Borrow main, Spell Pierce main. A lot of weird shit's going on. Okay, we're gonna keep. I definitely want that one. I think we're gonna go with this. And then we probably have to be pretty aggressive again with our... He put a card on the bottom. Okay, so now we have a good counterspell situation right now due to the Flusterstorm. A Ganju as well? Oh my goodness, what the fuck is our opponent playing, man? So I think I'm gonna wait for one more turn here with the Brazen Borrow. But I think we do have to be somewhat active. Alright, our opponent might not have full land. So I'd say, I mean, our opponent probably does have... Wait. Our opponent probably does have a Spell Pierce here, or a Flusterstorm. But I'm gonna utilize the Drawn Loss so it's not dead down the road. And I'm not actually too concerned about the Rest in Peace. We took out our Cruxas, so that's fine. Yeah, our opponent doesn't have another land, which is really good for us. I think I'm gonna main Teferi would be really bad for us, but... No, maybe not. I guess we can also try to bounce the Rest in Peace. Probably does have another counterspell. If not, then we won this fight, and that's very good. Seasoned Pyromancer. Okay, so that's definitely something that I do want to have down the road. So I assume that we are fighting over this. Yeah, definitely not gonna let that resolve. Unless, actually we could, but I think we shouldn't. So he's also playing Jaces. Now I can play my Archmage Charm. Yeah, I think I should do this. Alright, found a counterspell, which means no big planeswalker at the very least. And we can fight over Rest in Peace. He didn't counter last time, so maybe he doesn't have one, and if he does have one, that's fine as well. We have enough power without the graveyard. Okay, cool. So we've gotten rid of the Rest in Peace without it harming us too much. I think we're just gonna go deploy the Brazen Borrower now. If he does have a subtlety, that's fine. I'll probably bottom the Brazen Borrower even. Okay, and the Snapcaster just in time for the Graveyard Party to be online again. That seems interesting. I think I'm going to take the opportunity here to just play out my Cryptic Command. Our opponent could, of course, have Force, but if he forces this, then I'm super fine with it. Alright. No play, just a pass. I think this is looking good. I do want to have every land that I can get my hands on right now. And then our opponent will also have to start playing around the whole Stone Giants at some point. Okay, just a Brazen Borrower, which I don't really care about. Maybe he might have another Spell Pierce. Like, our opponent did play so many Spell Pierces already that I assume that there's more than one in there. Oh, Prismatic Ending. Alright, just passing. Gonna shock here so that I can go Snap, Counterspell plus K command. No, nothing. Alright, so they are a blue-white deck that is just splashing for additional colors to improve to improve Prismatic Ending. I think as long as my opponent's not doing anything, I'm just gonna chip in here. Alright, 6, which we have lethal for already. So let's see what our opponent's gonna do. Alright, so I think we're gonna go bolt. Whoops. Bolt. Cancel. We're gonna go with blue here first. Just in case he has a subtlety. I think this is better. And then we have bolt plus also K command up. Alright. Off to round number 3 here. Match number 3. So our opponent's bringing in Rest in Pieces, which of course makes our graveyard hate worse, generally speaking. Also, our opponent does still have Prismatic Ending in, which means both Unlicensed Hearse as well as Doughty are pretty susceptible. So I think I'm gonna take Doughty back out again. Although he does have Memory Deluge and therefore might be a mistake. Do I want to play the Bloodsheath first? Maybe, maybe not. I think I want to reduce 1 Seasoned Pyromancer, although I'm just gonna... I think going after his land base on the draw doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Especially because he's playing so many counter spells. Then Bloodsheath First is a good card against his Planeswalkers, but I think Flame Blitz is where we want to be. And then just pressuring them on the battlefield. No, don't think we're gonna keep this. Alright, keep. And we're gonna ditch this one. So we cannot prevent a turn 2 Rest in Peace. But it's also not happening. I think I want to play the Snapcaster out here to put on a little bit of pressure, and our opponent might have... Okay, but that's fine. This way I do have a little bit of stuff in the graveyard for later in the game when I go with kick commands. So let's try to play one out here. See if our opponent does have something for it. I don't want to run the Brazen Borrower into a Solitude necessarily, but we haven't seen Solitudes yet, so maybe our opponent's not playing any. Okay, so it's down. We're gonna play this one as well. And then we shall see whether or not we get some hits in or not. So of course, if he bounces my Brazen Borrow with his Brazen Borrow, nope. That's basically perpetual. So our opponent already does have Castle Vantress out. He does have Memory Delusion in his graveyard. Therefore, the late game could be problematic for us. We shall see. If we get him down to like 9 life or something, then we have a chance to to end it quickly. But okay, so opponent didn't do whatever you wanted to do there. I do have a K command up now, which is also neat. Alright, we do get an extra hit in. But he can utilize the Council of Interest now. But that also means like I could go in response here. I could go with Bolt Snap Bolt again, putting him down to 7 with 5 on the battlefield and K command, basically lethal. But I think I'm not going to do that this time, because our opponent definitely does have a removal spell in hand. Or should I? Put 2 cards on top of his library. Huh. It feels like I should. It feels like I should, especially because the other Brazen Borrower can still protect from opposing borrowers. Down to 7. 5 on the battlefield and potentially lethal. Yeah, let's do it. It's pretty all in, I'm not gonna lie. And our opponent could have a subtlety here. But I think we have to grab the chance. Because that puts significant pressure on my opponent, and depending on what he wanted to do, well, probably wasn't planning around this. Alright. So we got this down. One more land would be good for us, I think. Alright, so just played an Archmage's Charm there, which is already pretty weird. Now I'm, like, with that play by our opponent, I'm pretty happy with what I did. Duff does have another Brazen Borrower. Okay. We do have a Dottie. Naughty Dottie. And of course also something to still bounce stuff. So the Dottie actually pretty decent here because it's unblockable and will provide us with potentially like some counter magic of our opponent. Also, our opponent doesn't seem to be having too many counter spells in hand right now. Could have subtlety. He already did pause last time. But of course, running subtlety into a counter spell here would be pretty detrimental. Oh man, this is gonna be so close. Our opponent's already on 5. We have a decent board state, and we do have K command. We only need one hit with the Dottie in, and our opponent to be forced to tap out at some point. And Dottie is a pretty decent card here on the battlefield. And he probably won't be able to utilize Memory Deluge anymore in this game. Obviously, if we had drawn another land source here, that would be great, because then I could also deploy my Brazen Borrow, but anyway. Our opponent's deep in the tank. Deep in the tank. Also, like any lightning bolt off the top is lethal with another Snapcaster hit. Super close. What is it gonna be, opponent? What is it gonna be? I bet he has a full truck of counter spells in hand. Potentially even a couple of Planeswalkers. Yeah, he has to play around counterspell as well, of course, with two blue sources, and he has to be thinking about, like, if I get countered here, like a Jace or whatever, then... Oh, no. Okay. Let's see. Do we get a hit in? Does he have a subtlety? A solitude? Plus a spell pierce. Brazen Borrow doesn't help him. Okay. Let's attack. See where it goes. Okay, it does have a march of otherworldly lights. I think we need to let this resolve. Down to 3. So now our opponent really has to play around fucking everything in our deck. Also, he cannot fetch anymore. Otherwise, the Snapcaster is also lethal, as well as the K command. Which of course he doesn't know about, but he has to anticipate to a certain degree. So I strongly assume that our opponent does have So he just remembered that we did have another Brazen Borai here. So let's play that one out, see what he does. Does have a subtlety, okay. We're gonna put it on the bottom. I don't want it. Then we're gonna go with the Steam Vents. And then we hope for a Lightning Bolt off the top. Okay, that's not a Lightning Bolt. Let's try to bounce this. Definitely does have a counterspell as well. And has to play around a lightning bolt here. Alright, so does have the counterspell. So I think we're returning here and dealing 2 damage. So now all the fetch lands are unabled or disabled. Snapcaster is lethal as well as the Snapcaster that I have in my hand. So my opponent cannot tap out. Every lightning bolt's lethal. Every K command is lethal. And with an additional land, I can attack with the Hall of Storm Giants as well, which my opponent probably cannot deal with unless he has another March of Otherworldly Light in hand. Alright, Jace. Interesting. So now I think... I don't know. Let's see. Our opponent certainly does have another counterspell. So whatever we draw off the top, we need a counterspell or... So either a Flusterstorm, a land, or a Lightning Bolt, or a K command. I think one of those would be decent. Alright, a land. Alright, so we're gonna go with another red source here. Seasoned Pyromancer. Lol. Did have a subtlety as well. Oh my goodness. Like right now. So I probably have to put this on top, right? So that I have lethal next turn again. What did he discard? Another subtlety, lol. So he does have another counterspell in hand. No, it doesn't. Alright. So then next turn we do have the Hall of Storm Giants, as well as lethal between the two of these. Let's see. Our opponent definitely does get a couple more looks. What a close game. What a close game. Okay. That's a pretty risky play though, right? So our opponent cannot fetch anymore, which means... Okay, so he got rid of one of those. Now I have a K command as well. I think I have to utilize it. Because I have 7. So either I attack with the Hall of Storm Giants right now. He could have a removal spell, right? Let's go. Direct player discards a card and to damage. Or even... yeah. And I have Snap Counterspell up as well. And then, I don't know, like... Spell Pierce isn't gonna do it. Counterspell isn't gonna do it. I don't even know what he could have that prevents this from happening. Alright, GG's 5-0.